Hi everyone, Dr. Remy from Pain Free and Fit. Today, a great video for those of you with spondylolisthesis of the lower back, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, and S1. How to protect your lower back while doing incline press work in the gym. Hope you enjoy. So the best way to protect your lower back with spondylolisthesis while working out is, of course, to find out what your neutral spine position is, that safe position of your spine, and maintain it with your reverse posture isometric, your unique muscular coordinations that address all your muscular imbalances, spinal stability issues, based on your movement patterns and your posture tendencies. We're all unique with this. My unique RPI and neutral spine is going to be slightly different from yours. I want to maintain my left hip down to avoid hip hiking. You may need to create a lateral translation posture with your rib cage or your pelvis to put your spine in neutral. We all, with extension-based pain, which is most of the time with spondylolisthesis, meaning if we increase the arch of our back, need to check that and maintain that by holding a little pubic bone up or tailbone under and a little crunch down. That flattens the natural curve in the lower back. And that's what we're going to talk about today when we address protecting spondylolisthesis with these exercises. Now, when we go from a flat bench to an incline bench, there is a natural tendency, regardless of the exercise we're doing, whether we're doing a press, whether we're doing close grip, whether we're doing triceps overhead, whether we're even doing pullovers, to, on an incline, arch the lower back, because the natural tendency is for the upper torso to sink down on the bench towards the pelvis. Also, when we're on an incline, the angle between the hip and the rest of the body has a tendency to have the legs further down than when we normally stand. That creates hip extension, which then takes our pelvis and rolls it anteriorly, meaning forward, which also increases the arch of the lower back. Now, most people with spondylo have increased pain with increased extension or arching of the lower back. So that's something we want to try to check and watch out for so we don't aggravate ourselves. The best way to do this is to, number one, check our foot position. The wider our feet go on an incline, the more we're going to stretch our hip adductors, which for many people with spondylo, that is tight, and tight hip adductors are going to pull on the pelvis and cause more of an anterior pelvic tilt, more arching in the lower back, possibly more stress mechanically on the spondylo and pain. So take a narrower foot position, that's going to release the hip adductor tightness, and you'll feel, if you put your hand on your lower back, with your feet narrow, there's less of a tendency to arch that back. The wider your feet go, you'll notice the back moves away from your hand. The arch is increasing. So a narrower stance, and if you place your feet further away from you, as opposed to tucking them under the bench, or take a higher position on the bench with your feet further away, that's going to change the angle of your hip extension. The more that you have your feet tucked under and your body slides low, you're going to notice your legs are going to be down compared to the plane of the rest of your body. That's hip extension. That's creating that anterior pelvic tilt. So keeping the feet further away from you and moving your body up has a natural tendency to decrease that arch in the back and protect extension-induced pain in spondylolisthesis. The other thing we want to think about with any type of overhead press work is the upper torso. When I'm bench pressing, when I'm doing tricep work, skull crushers, for instance, there's a tendency to put our shoulder blades together. When we do this, it elevates the chest upwards. When the chest comes upwards because of the blades pinching together, you'll notice there's an increased tendency to increase that arch in the lower back. So keeping the shoulders slightly back, but not overemphasizing that, will help to decrease that force. One other tip you can have is you can put one leg or both legs up on the incline bench. By placing a foot upwards, even one of them, you'll notice there's a slight tendency to change the curve in your lower back while doing press work. As you inhale, which is associated with spinal extension and increased arching of the back, that will help to keep that back a little flatter as you do your work. And again, that applies to any type of incline pressing exercise. It is possible to put both feet on the bench, but for stability reasons, one foot seems to work better for most people. Remember to alternate the sides of your legs to create symmetry. However, if you have a problem with one hip flexor being tighter than another or a weaker glute on that side, that's the side that you typically want on the floor, and the opposite side you want up. So the hip flexors on the opposite side are shortened and your tight hip flexors are stretched. If you like this video on incline pressing relating to spondylolisthesis, feel free to subscribe to our channel. We got a lot of great videos out there to help you. Questions or comments, write in. As always, I'll do my best to answer. And remember, if you're looking for a great program to figure out what your body mechanics are, how to figure out what your neutral spine is, what your RPI is, how to systematically go through step-by-step a self-management rehab program to get you out of pain with healing exercises and back into fitness while protecting your lower back by improving your body mechanics, check out our fast-track program for spondylolisthesis available at painfreeandfit.com. I hope this video on incline press training and spondylolisthesis helps you with your lower back problems.